Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Avalanche Stadium on the campus of Chino Hills High School. The Huskies and the Leuzinger Olympians. Along with Rashawn Haylock, I'm Lou Stowers, and tonight is the night when the Leuzinger Olympians start to defend their CIF championship.
It's a title defense, first time ever that these Olympians are defending a title. They enter this postseason, ironically, with a record of 19-7, the same exact record they entered last season's postseason with, but of course we know this is an entirely different team, somewhat of a younger, more experienced bunch, and they're going to have their work cut out for them here tonight.
And the Huskies, they do have a lot of seniors and a lot of experience, and what a defense they have.
Yeah, what a defense. They're only giving up 55 points per contest. Talking to Coach Bake here before the game, and he said, defense, defense, defense. This is what their team prides itself on. They like to get stops, and they like to run. So they're going to try to push the tempo against this Leuzinger team. Of course, Leuzinger likes to run as well, so it's going to be a matter of wills here. Who can defend better and who can run faster here tonight?
Don't go anywhere. The starting lineups are next on Channel 22. Go to the starting lineups as the Leuzinger Olympians will be dressed in their navy blue road uniforms with the white numbers and red trim against the Huskies in their home whites with the black and silver trim. Number 3, Eric Herrera, was introduced first for the Huskies, and number 1, Eric Childress, is introduced for the Leuzinger Olympians. We will introduce them. Number 21, Marshawn McMahon, a 6'3 senior, one of the captains on this team. Number 22, Kyrie Johns at 1 forward, a 6'4 junior. Number 32, Howard Johnson, junior, a swingman, a 6-foot senior. And number 33, Travion Anderson, another senior, a 6'2 sophomore. And the Olympians are 17-9, 6-4 in the Bay League, good enough for second place. And they are coached by Ali Parvaz in his first year. And now for the Huskies from Chino Hills. Number 4, A.J. Hecox, a 6'1 senior. Number 10, Warren Odache. He's a 6-foot senior. Number 15, another forward, Mike Sorensen, a 6'1 senior. And the point guard, just a sophomore, 5'10", number 20, Cameron Curry. And in the middle, the big man to watch for sure, number 42, John Richmond, a 6'5 senior, averaging over 10 points a game. Also the leading rebounder at about 7 rebounds a game. The Huskies at 21-6, 7-3, and they are also tied for second with Ayala in the Sierra League. And Chino Hills is coached by Steve Bank. Also want to thank the athletic director, Jeff Stevens, for helping us out, and all the crew here at Chino Hills High School. What a beautiful facility it is.
Yeah, great facility nestled here in Chino Hills. First time being out here, partner, but this is a fantastic environment, a great facility. You can see it coming right off of the freeway, and you get in here and it's just magnificent. So a great setting here for some high school basketball as these Olympians prepare to defend their CIF Southern Section crown. And please believe, these Huskies are well aware that these Olympians are the defending champs. Part of somewhat of a motivating factor for these guys here tonight.
And Stan Berry throws the ball in play, and the Huskies gain possession. Also the other official, Ed Leon. And we're underway. Chino Hills with it, going left to right. 3-point shot right off the bat and buried by Warren Odache.
Easy inside out. They doubled down on the big fella. They kicked it out, swung it around, and wide open 3.
Childress lost the ball, but is picked up by Johns. Now Childress gets it back. The point guard, he's a youngster too, just a sophomore, but he's been playing all season and lays it up and in.
They got 2 sophomore point guards going at it here tonight, and you see Childress there. That's one thing he's very good at, attacking the basket.
Childress averaging almost 13 points a game. Driving the ball is Hecox, but is stopped by Johnson Jr. Here's the big man. We've been waiting to see him. High off the glass, no, but the rebound is tipped up and in by Mike Sorensen, and it's a 5-2 game. Long 3 put up and just short by Childress, and that'll go out of bounds harmlessly, and that's a turnover to the Huskies. Just underway here in the first quarter. Glad you joined us on Channel 22. Is it playoff time already?
Indeed it is.
Odachi with it. Gets it down low to the big man, John Richmond. Richmond going against Anderson. Now out for a three-point try. That won't go down. Rebound is off of Childress, and it stays in the Huskies' hands. A new 35 for Chino Hills. And Chino Hills last year lost 40-39 to Santa Monica High School in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, same Santa Monica team that made it all the way to Honda Pond and lost to these Leuzinger Olympians in the final game.
Shot missed by Hecox, and the Olympians get the rebound. Here comes Marshawn McMahon. Crossover. Now it's triple team, and the ball is tipped and stolen away.
Yeah, you like to see Marshawn be aggressive there, trying to get to the basket, but it needs to be a little bit more under control.
And Coach Bake said he was going to be focusing on the guards, that's for sure. And what do we have? A travel on Chino Hills called by Stan Berry. Again, Stan Berry and Ed Leon are our officials. There's Leon going to give the ball to Howard Robinson Jr. And these officials are from the San Gabriel Valley. Robinson Jr. drives the wing, but now kicks it back out to Childress for a wide open three. No, tipped up, and that goes awry after the nice tip by Johns, trying to get it over Richmond, but just couldn't get it to go. Odachi gets it back from Sorensen for a three, in and out, and he knows his rims, doesn't he?
A little bit of home cooking there for Warren Ondaatje. Senior guard, standing at about 6 foot, and that time he was able to get the three off with a little bit of pressure in his face. He's a shooter, and this Leuzinger team knows that. On the scout, they recognize number 10 as a pure shooter. We talked to Coach Parvaz about it before the game. He said 10 is a guy that we have to locate. Well, they located him there. He still knocked down a tough shot.
That's right, and that's his second three of the game. And it's 8-2 with 5:44 left to go in the first quarter. A timeout immediately called after that three-pointer by Ali Parvaz. What do you think he was telling him, Coach?
He's telling them you got to do a better job of closing out on those shooters. They did a decent job there. We talked about the first one by Ondaatje was wide open. That time they got a decent job there, but you got to be quicker with your rotations defensively.
Childress gets the inbound, gets it across the timeline. Anderson looked like he traveled and did.
And Parvaz wanted a held ball right there, and he should have got one.
Yep, it did look like the defender pushed that ball back into the breadbasket area.
A little full court pressure here being applied by Leuzinger.
And they should do that, down by 6 early on with about 5:25 left to go in the first quarter. Hecox with it, going against Johns. Richmond way up top. Now gets it over to number 25 in the ball game now. And Richmond, his shot was short, but the rebound, another chance given to the Huskies. Down underneath to Sorensen. Nice give and go. And the finish is to Sorensen, who has 4 points of his own.
Yeah, and that's a second chance point right there. You can ill-advised second chance point there given up by the Olympians. You got to box out.
So it's 10-2. 4:49, a long three-pointer is off the mark by McMahon. And there go the Olympians in their unfortunate procedure of taking that early three-pointer. And a foul, first foul of the ball game. And was that on Eric Childress?
Yeah, they give it to Childress, so that's his first personal. First foul of this game, partner.
That sure is. Give and go again to Odachi. He can't do it, so he gives it up to Hecox for another three. So that makes it 13-2.
That's just great ball movement there by the Huskies.
And that's a 10-0 run now being put up by the Huskies. Anderson with it, going against Sorensen, and he's fouled, and so hard work pays off for Travion Anderson.
Yeah, it's one thing that this Leuzinger team can do. These guards are going to get pressured, and anytime you're getting pressured, you need to just blow by a guy and try to get to the basket. And once the defense collapses and you'll have some passing lanes there to be able to kick it to some teammates, or you can get right to the cup.
Kyrie Johns is out. In the ball game is Rodney Mills. Get some height in there, 6'6" senior. Also in the game is Eric Sims, back from an injury, but gives the ball up, and back comes Chino Hills. Richmond gets it back to number 25. Unfortunately, I don't have his number. And a three-pointer, but that doesn't matter because we know who that is. That's Ondaatje, who has 9 points, all on three-pointers, and it's 16-2. And a layup is missed by Childress. Back come the Huskies, and a left-handed layup try, and that's going to be 2 at the foul line.
And you see what these Huskies are trying to do. Good defense and generate that into easy offense on the other end. And they're pushing the tempo right at this Leuzinger basketball team.
Now, do you have a roster? Because I don't have a 25 on
no
Hills.
25 on my roster either. I take it that's Cameron Murray.
You could be right. Okay.
Or Curry, pardon me.
We'll call that Cameron Curry, as he made them both. And it's now 18-2. High and arching three-point shot is missed by Sims, but the rebound is taken by Childress, so they get a second chance at it. A lot of work to do for these Olympians, who are down by 16 with 3:19 left to go in the first quarter, and Eric Childress helps by chipping it away, and he has all 4 points, and that snaps a 15-0 run.
And it's so tough to go up against long runs like this, especially on the road. This young, inexperienced Leuzinger team.
So Eric Sims will go to the line to shoot 2. And that's going to be huge for this poor shooting Olympian team. They just averaged 38%, check that, 63% from the free throw line.
Yeah, Sims back in the lineup, missed the last 3 games with a high ankle sprain. Hadn't had any contact drills in practice, just light conditioning, but he's back in there tonight. And what an environment to get thrown into, coming off the bench.
Just a 59% foul shooter, Rashawn, but maybe he was practicing his free throws.
We hope so.
So now it's 18-6 with 3 minutes left to go in the first. And in the ball game now is Michael Navarre at center for Chino Hills. Ball is knocked out of bounds. Good defense by Robinson Jr. Also in the ball game, Wesley Ondaatje, averaging 3.6 points a game.
Five seconds. Five.
That was about 6 or 7. And the ball is turned over. Good defense on the inbound.
Coach Bake mad. He wanted to get a timeout there. Talking to his players, you got to get a timeout there if you can't get the ball in.
Big hill to climb for the Olympians in the first round of the CIF 1AA playoffs. Eric Childress has it. 18-6. Leuzinger trails Chino Hills. McMahon with it, stops, drives, puts up a teardrop that won't fall. Rebound is off to Cameron Curry. And back comes the Huskies. Long pass to Navarre, who looks like he lowered the shoulder on Robinson Jr., but goes in for the bucket. Now it's 20-6. Eric Childress has it.
You got to be patient here if you're losing. You still want to run your stuff. Still early in this ball game.
2 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Still a lot of time left. Nice move by Robinson Jr., and he gets it to fall. 20-8. First 2 for Robinson.
These guards like to attack. They like to drive, and you see how you're patient, you settle down, you run your stuff, and good things happen.
Little stutter step. Nice non-call, and the turnover and the steal by Childress.
What a
Here
pass.
comes Robinson, and he's fouled from behind. He'll have to earn it at the line.
I don't think so, partner. I think they're just going to call that a block shot.
Wow, okay.
No foul there. What a great pass by Marshawn Lynch. Threaded the needle there in transition between 2 defenders.
Lynch has the ball blocked, and it's going to be called a jump ball.
A held ball.
And the arrow faces to the Leuzinger Olympians, so they'll get it back. But a great defensive play by Navarre.
Yeah, excellent job there.
Way out front to Eric Childress, who passed the ball off to Mills, who didn't think he was going to get it, and the ball is thrown away. Here comes Hecox, coast to coast.
And how quick is he in transition?
Blew it by everybody. Now it's 22-8, as Hecox now has 5 points.
And get Marchand for an offensive foul there. A little frustrated, got called for a push off there. And these Olympians kind of unraveling here in the early going. Still a lot of time left in this basketball game.
Mills and Sims come out for the Olympians. In now is Stefan Nathan, just a sophomore. And also back in is Kyrie Johns. Long shot taken by Hecox, won't go down. And now after the rebound, a soccer tackle by Michael Navarre, but he's going to get called for a foul.
Yeah, nice job by Childress. Navarre got the rebound, but he came down with it, and that's when those little guards can get in there and rake it out, and this is exactly what Childress did. And in an effort to regain possession, he took him out from underneath, soccer style, as you mentioned, partner.
Childress, who leads the team in assists and steals, is going to have to get to work as he almost lost the ball. Now McMahon with it. Comes in. That's usually his shot, but he misses it. And the rebound comes out to the Huskies.
Didn't really shoot that confidently. Looked like Marchand kind of aimed at a little one as opposed to just shooting the basketball.
If he looks a little thin, you're right. This whole team has been decimated by the flu bug, and they're just getting back. 20 seconds left in the first quarter. Shot clock is 2 seconds difference, and a timeout is called. 30-second timeout called by Chino Hills coach Steve Bake.
Especially Marchand. You talked about the flu bug, partner. It seems like Marchand was the one that got hit by it the worst. He's been down and out for quite some time now, but he's played through it, and you give him credit for trying to play through it and battle it, but you can tell by watching him or looking at the box scores, he just hasn't really been himself. Had that good game at Peninsula, where both he and Childress went off for, both had over 25 points in that game. They lost in overtime thanks to Reese Morgan's 54, but besides that game, Marchand's been kind of down and out the last couple of weeks.
Time back in. Hecox against Lynch. Check that against Marchand McMahon. And a steal by Childress. And he gets the finish.
He has active hands as a point guard. You like your point guard to have active hands, to be all in the mix like that. As the shot at the buzzer, no good there by Hecox, but Childress trying to spark some life into this Leuzinger team, and that's how you get it done, partner, on that end of the floor, defensively. You got to get some stops here. I mean, at the end of one, it's 22-10. You're trailing this one by 12 points. You can trade basket for basket the rest of this game. You're still going to lose by 12. You got to get it done at the defensive end of the basketball court.
Let's take a quick timeout on Channel 22. (22-10) is our score. Second quarter about ready to get underway in the first round of the CIF 1AA playoffs. In the southern section, winner of this game gets the winner of Etiwanda, Long Beach Wilson.
A telltale sign is the battle of the boards. By my calculation, Leuzinger got out-rebounded that first quarter, 9-2.
Big John Richmond back in the ball game as he runs a screen for Hecox, who just weaves his way in for the layup. Hecox now with 7 points and a steal. Actually, a block shot, I should say, by Richmond.
He's a force, isn't he?
Certainly is. 6'5" and has that football-wide body. But he doesn't look like he's played a lot of football. Looks like a basketball guy only. Ball bounce down low to Odache. That's Wes Odache. That's his first bucket of the game, and it's a quick 4-0 run by the Huskies, and they lead it 26-10.
And that was great movement that created that confusion there defensively for Leuzinger.
Little bit of a zone defense being shown by the Huskies right now as Marshawn McMahon fires up an air ball, but the ball is taken by Johns. Wheeled it back up to Childress, and they'll run the offense. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Won't go down. Rebound is off. Here comes Hecox and the Huskies trying to get by and count it as he gets around Nathan. Nathan fouls him going by, and for Hecox, he now has 9 points, looking for the and one.
Yeah, and 4 rebounds to lead his team tonight. And a lot of his points have come by way of transition. He'll get the rebound and just come right down the other way. He's done that at least twice here tonight, including this last one here, and he's at the line now for the +1.
He certainly does not have a first or second gear.
He has 1 gear, and that's fast.
Yep. 29-10 now. Huskies lead it. Childress underneath to Mills. Rodney's first points of the game. But for the Leuzinger, it's been too far between baskets. Nice move by Odache.
Yeah, break there for Leuzinger. Childress got caught helping off, and his man went back door.
But good defensive help by Travion Anderson as well to force that up and under reverse layup.
They like to run this high ball screen here, Leuzinger. Childress is so good coming off the pick and roll. You see right there. He gets that high ball screen and he can attack. That's when he's at his best. Coming off that screen and putting his head down and getting to the basket. Also has great vision. He can pass off of it as well. But you saw earlier the Huskies, as Coach Bake gets a timeout here, you saw earlier the Huskies were trying to hedge that screen, meaning the person who was guarding the screener would kind of step out a little bit to stop Childress from turning that corner. And that's something that they need to do defensively, because anytime Childress comes off that screen, he's looking to do one thing, and that's get right to the basket.
So that's the second timeout taken by the Huskies. And 2 quick baskets, and Steve Bake, he just doesn't want to take any prisoners, it seems like. He just wants to put them away early.
Yeah, you can't let up. You can't let up. And I think that's the point that he's trying to prove to his team. It's a different season now, and tomorrow is not promised. So you want to make sure that you continue to keep your foot on the gas. You don't want to have any let up here.
5:50 left to go in the first half. A big 15-point lead, 29-14 for the Huskies over the Olympians. Ball is knocked away by Howard Robinson Jr. down into the hallway. And he does referee Leon a favor by going and getting it.
Yeah, but these Huskies have been efficient on the offensive end. You see a little America's play right there. 3-pointer, no good there by Hecox.
And the rebound is off. Marshawn McMahon has the shot blocked by Hecox. He's done it all. Up and under, count it.
Wait.
No, that's a player control foul by Hecox. Thought he could do it all, but instead he gets the 4th team foul for the Huskies and the first foul of the game for him.
And if you're Coach Bake, I don't think you mind that too much. Great defensive play. He's been doing it in transition all night. He was just there being aggressive.
Robinson Jr. from way downtown won't go down, as the Leuzinger Olympians have yet to hit a 3-point shot. Curry double teamed, knocked away from Sorensen by Robinson Jr., and he'll get nailed for his 2nd foul.
You see Leuzinger with the little stunt right there. Childress came off of his man and tried to double the point guard Curry right here near half court.
Hecox has it, loses one man, drops it off for big Richmond, and he gets his first bucket of the game.
And that's just undisciplined defense right there. I mean, the guy just got blown by. We talked about Hecox's gear, 1 gear, and that's fast. He got all the way to the cup, near another rebound.
And gets it to Richmond, gets the points, gets the layup with the left hand, and he'll get the and one try after the 3rd foul on Howard Robinson Jr. And that's the 7th team foul on the Olympians with 4:42 left to go in the first half and trailing 33-14.
And you notice, partner, this is something that we talked about during the season, the transition defense, and something Coach Parvaz mentioned as well to the both of us, and it's hurt them here tonight. You know, a lot of these buckets have been in transition for these Huskies here tonight, and they get another and one opportunity, and now their lead is up to 20.
And unfortunately for the Olympians, John Richmond has started to warm up. He has 5 points all in this quarter. I think all in a row.
Yeah. Hecox did a nice job finding them there.
McMahon driving against Hecox, pulls up and misses everything. And it'll be a turnover on the missed shot by McMahon.
And I think those are the shots that Coach Parvaz was talking about earlier on when he said that he didn't want to take. Out of the rhythm of the offense where guys just kind of come down and jack up a shot without any passes.
Odache gets it back out to Hecox. Now Richmond has it, double teamed. Has it swatted away, but picks it back up, puts it up with the left hand. No, Sorensen with the rebound twice. And McMahon comes away with the rebound. 3-on-2 break. Flips it over to Childress for the finish. 10 points for Eric. Breaks another big run, but Hecox is there right away. And the rebound is grabbed out of the air by Eric Sims. Long pass to McMahon, lays it up and in.
And Leuzinger can run with this team, but they got to remember to get back on defense, and that's something that they haven't been able to do. Now you put yourself in a situation here where you get blown by in the full court.
Fake on the three-point try by Richmond. Now Hecox gets it. That basket by McMahon was his first of the game. That won't go down. Hecox gets the lucky bounce and another try on the rebound. Now the rebound is taken by Anderson and a tie-up, and the ball will go to Leuzinger. Hecox is doing it all right now.
Yeah, he's doing it all. I mean, he's done it all, but come up here and join us and calling this game.
Better not say anything. You just might.
I mean, he's been doing everything here tonight. But going to Leuzinger defensively, help side defenses have failed them tremendously here tonight. Yeah.
Under 3 minutes left to go. And Sims has it against Richmond. Cut off at the pass, so he gets it back outside to Childress. Going in the trees, and his foul going in. And he'll get 2 shots at the line with 2:45 left, down 34-18.
Yeah, talk about help side defense. It failed the Huskies there on that possession. They collapsed on Childress, but it was too late. It was after he already got to the cup. And with his speed, he's so quick with the ball in his hands. He can do that seemingly on every possession as he knocks down the first free throw, and that's get to the basket. It's something that he's so good at, especially coming off that high ball screen. And we talked about his vision a little bit earlier on where he can find guys, but if you're in that blue jersey, you got to be ready. When number one has the ball, it could be coming your way.
And both free throws in the bank for Eric Childress, who now has a dozen. And it is 34-20 with 2:40 left to go in the first half. Leuzinger back on defense quickly. Odache with the ball, running the offense for Steve Bake's Huskies.
They come with their 1-4 set. Do the Huskies.
Hecox with another player control foul. And good defense, putting his feet on the ground by Travion Anderson.
But you see what I'm talking about there, partner? The help defense. Hecox had it all the way on the left wing, and he came all the way to this right elbow here near side and got all the way to the basket. And it was a good job there to take the charge, but the help would have to come sooner than that.
Okay. 2:20 left to go in the first half. McMahon, it's the call going the other way now as Navarre was
They've
planted.
been consistent with that call all night.
So for McMahon, that's his second personal, 8th team foul. And Howard Robinson Jr. on the bench with 3 fouls. Eric Sims in the ball game, Childress, McMahon, and Nathan along with Anderson for the Olympians. Odache, Curry, Sorensen, Odache, and Navarre in for the Huskies. 2 minutes left to go. Ball is handed off. Odache with it. Can't get it to go down. It was blocked from behind. Nathan now with a jump ball, and he tied up Navarre. It'll stay in Chino Hill's hands. The possession arrow pointing to our right. So how about that? Stephen Nathan going toe-to-toe with big Michael Navarre.
Well, they're missing some muscle. You see Nathan wearing number 11. That was worn by Jabari Matthew, who's no longer with the team.
Shot is missed by Odache, but Chino Hills gets a new 35 with the offensive rebound. Little brother gets it back over to big brother. Rebound again on the second miss by Warren Odache. McMahon with it. Takes the three. This is going to be wide left. Actually almost banked it in. Sims with the rebound. 1:30 left to go in the first half. A 14-point lead. And Eric Childress now has 14 points in the ball game.
How good is he? How good has he been for them tonight? He's trying to keep them here in this game.
Navarre actually passes blocked. And the possession. 2 turnovers by each team.
Active hands there. Get it leading to deflections, leading to turnovers there. An old coach once told me deflections are just as good as steals because it takes the offense out of their rhythm, takes them out of what they're trying to do. And there you see that time they force a turnover. 12-point game here, partner.
It's the old tip drill. So let's see if the Leuzinger Olympians can drill into this lead a little more with 1 minute left to go in the first half. Anderson drives a baseline, can't get it to go in, and the rebound is taken by McMahon. Nice move by Childress. Couldn't get it to go down. Rebound is fumbled out of bounds, but it was poked out of bounds by the Olympians.
Yeah, he double pumped there. He thought that there was pressure coming, but he really didn't need to do that. He thought there was some defense coming there, but he really didn't need to do that. Ended up getting blocked by the rim there.
45 seconds left in the half. 34-22. Huskies leading the Olympians. Game 1 of the Division I AA CIF playoffs.
They're looking to go high-low. There it is, wide open underneath Richmond. He blew it.
He certainly did, and McMahon, with 30 seconds left, shot clock dark, gets the ball for the Olympians.
I don't know if I'm wearing blue right now. I want to give the ball to number 1.
McMahon does just that with 15 seconds left to go. He's just going to go for the last shot here.
Look for a high screen to come here, and here it comes from Robinson.
Robinson back in the ball game. 5 seconds left. Now Robinson's going to have to take the shot for a three-pointer. Ends the first half, and this is a makeable game for the Olympians.
And that was all set up by the threat of Childress being able to get to the basket off that high screen. As Howard Robertson Jr. just got lost there that time as his man stayed with Childress and tried to take away the penetration, and Childress talked about his vision. Nice find, Robinson with the 3, and hey, we got a single-digit game going into the locker room at halftime.
Well, just looking at my paperwork here, if I'm correct, that's an 11-0 run put up by the Olympians to end this first half. So they're starting to warm up here after that long drive from Hawthorne.
Yeah, they were down 34-14. Now down
Lawndale.
Lawndale. Yeah, don't want the folks in
That's
Lawndale
a big difference.
or Hawthorne to get mad for that matter. At 34-14, now a 34-25 ball game, and we talked about it. Leuzinger can play with this team. It's just been them kind of shooting themselves in the foot, so to speak, with the effort plays, with the defense, and most importantly, the transition defense, as these guys, Hecox in particular, was able to get in transition and just kill them that way.
And this is the first time, Rashawn, that this has been in single digits since, about the 5.5-minute mark of the first quarter.
It was just a track meet from the start, and the only team running was the team in white.
Well, the only team scoring was the team in white. Speaking of scoring, let's go over the scoring for the Olympians. Eric Childress with 14 points. Eric Sims with 2 points for Rodney Mills, 2 for Marshawn McMahon, and 5 points for Howard Robinson Jr. For the Huskies, 9 points for A.J. Hecox, 9 points, all three-pointers in the first quarter for Warren Odache, 2 points for his little brother Wesley, and Michael Sorensen with 4 points, 2 points for Cameron Curry, 2 for Michael Navarre, and 5 points for John Richmond for a total of 34 points. So we're going to be back with the third quarter right after this on Channel 22. Back at Avalanche Gymnasium on the campus of Chino Hills High School, along with Rashawn Haylock and our camera person, Sergio Munoz, I'm Lou Stowers. Thank you very much for spending time with us on Channel 22's exclusive presentation of the Leuzinger Olympians in the CIF playoffs, defending their 1AA championship title. And Rashawn Haylock, just want to make a correction on some of the scoring. We've been saying that Howard Robinson had 2 personal fouls. He has 3 personal fouls. He has 2, and Travion Anderson has 1. Other foul trouble, and that's pretty much it. Marshawn McMahon also with 2 fouls. Hecox for the Huskies has 2 fouls, and so does Michael Navarre. John Richmond, believe it or not, the big man, has no fouls, and maybe they should start to work on it.
Hey, might start to work on them a little bit, but I think the main thing for these Olympians to keep in mind is, yes, they did a good job cutting this to a 9-point deficit, but all the work isn't done yet. You still got to keep the pedal to the metal, so to speak, and it has to get done on the defensive end.
Olympians get the ball to start the second half, and what a rebound by Childress, and a nice pass, beautiful pass to get it back out to Robinson, hands it off to McMahon, scoops it up and in. Good start for the Olympians.
You want to talk about an initiator or a facilitator? I'll find you one. Eric Childress. He's wearing number 1 in blue.
He has been a beast since middle school, and there is another foul on Hecox. That will be his 3rd personal, as he just cleared out Travion Anderson.
You have to keep punching them in the mouth if you're losing. And if you're Chino Hills, I'm sure the talk at halftime was, we got to get back to what we were doing to begin this game, getting stops and running the ball right at this Leuzinger basketball team.
A huge 15-0 run to start off the first quarter. After the score was 3-2 in favor of the Huskies. Ball goes out of bounds to the Olympians, and getting up off his wallet is Marshawn McMahon, who had a bout with the flu, and I don't know, is he still a little green around the gills?
I think he may be.
Not now.
But that looked good.
That'll get you well in a hurry.
That was effervescent right there by McMahon.
Now it's a 4-point ball game. 34-30, 7:03 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Give and go to Odachi. Won't go. Sorensen is butt from behind, and look at this Leuzinger defense, and it's knocked out of bounds. It'll be a new 35 off of the foot of Howard Robinson Jr.
So much of defense, partner, is effort. And you got to want to do it. That's why coaches say every night, your offense may not be there every night, but your defense should never fail you. Every single night, your defense should come to play.
A huge 5-0 run. The ball is knocked away from Richmond, and back comes a 3-0 run. Behind the back pass. Too many passes as Childress finishes it off, though, with a 3.
And a sigh of relief look there by Coach Parvaz, because he knew if they didn't cash in there, it would have been a golden opportunity missed trying to be too fancy. But the sophomore knocking down the big triple.
Finishing it off there, saving the bacon of the Olympians. 6:25 left to go. This is a 1-point ball game.
Just to think, Leuzinger was down by 22 different times in this game here tonight.
Now a foul on either McMahon as Ed Leon called the foul. Let's see on who. It is on Marshawn McMahon. That'll be his 3rd personal, first team foul in the second half. So a new 35 for the Huskies. Bounced in nicely. Richmond blows a layup, but gets his own rebound. Can't put it in. Being bugged from behind, and the rebound is taken away by Robinson Jr. Gives it to McMahon. Off to Anderson. Anderson loses 1 man. Can't get enough spin off the backboard, but gets the rebound. Childress for 3 for the lead. Too long. Rebound to Hecox, and he gets the outlet to Odachi. Curry now, the sophomore, for the Huskies. 5:45 left to go in the 3rd quarter. A 1-point Leuzinger lead. Hecox goes for the 3. Won't go. A little long. Childress with the rebound. He'll bring it back by himself after being bothered by Sorensen. McMahon for the lead. Off the mark. Richmond maybe a little too quick by the Olympians there.
They don't want to fall in love with the 3.
And
McMahon with the kick ball. They get a break. No call. 3-on-2. Nice pass. Nice pass.
Finished by McMahon. And the Olympians take the lead for the first time in the ball game, 35-34.
10-0 run to start this half here, partner. Nice unselfish play there by McMahon and Childress. 2 spectacular passes there for the layup.
7 points by McMahon here in this quarter. Wide open 3, good.
And if you're Howard Robertson, you got to get around that screen. You got to contest that shot. That was just too easy there by Hecox.
Hecox took a shower, shaved, put his new socks on. And then he shot. Had a nice screen by Richmond. 37-35. Let's see if the Olympians can maintain pace here as the shot is long. And back comes the Huskies, but stolen away by Childress. Childress going all the way, puts it up and in. How did he get that to go in?
What a scoop! The sophomore with the sidestep in the scoop.
Wow. Down underneath to Sorensen. And finally a foul called.
We talked about Hecox doing everything for the Huskies to start this game. I think Childress looked at him and said, you know what, I'll have what he's having. He took some of that, and he's just carried these Olympians here tonight.
Robinson Jr. attending to a sprained ankle. 4:14 left to go. Tie ball game at 37 all. Odache to Sorensen. To Odache, the senior. Won't go down. Rebound by McMahon, who's taking a bigger role inside on defense.
And you talk about so much defense being effort. This Leuzinger team, the intensity has just picked up on that end. They're rebounding the ball. They're contesting shots. They're battling weak side.
3:50 left to go. Childress gets it over to a wide open person, and that is Kyrie Johns for his first bucket of the game. And how big is that?
And talk about his vision. There he is, finding the open man once again.
39-37, 3:35 left in the third quarter.
Michael set, double staggered. Here it comes as a shooter.
Odache for 3. It's a big one.
That's out of that 1-4 set. Once again, they run so much their offense is run out of that 1-4 set. They get it to the high post. They go back door. They can set that double staggered away, and the shooter, Onache, knocks it down.
Quick shot by Childress. Won't go down. He ends up on his wallet by Sorensen. And Chino Hills ends up with the ball. 40-39 with 3:02 left to go, and a steal, straight steal by Kyrie Johns. 11 turnovers by the Huskies, 7 by the Olympians. A lot of turnovers here by the Huskies, and a long shot taken. Anderson with the rebound, drives, and a foul is going to be called on Chino Hills. And Steve Bake, the head coach of Chino Hills, says, what was that foul?
Well, you got to run your stuff there. And obviously, Marshawn McMahon, a 40% three-point shooter on the year, has great range. Definitely, obviously, has the green light to take that shot there.
Luckily,
but
the rebound was taken by the Olympians.
Yeah, you want to be a little bit more patient. The possession before Childress saw him maybe try to do a little bit too much right there.
Nathan gets in the act. Is that a 2 or a 3?
Looked like it was just a 2.
Well, they give him a 3. It's 42-40.
And Nathan is a kid that for a sophomore, he has no conscience.
That's his first point of the game. Now wide open for Hecox, and he rattles it in. So it's going to be a battle of the three-point shots. 16 points for AJ.
And how is Leuzinger going to play now with Childress on the bench here?
So with Nathan, just fine so far. 2:10 left to go in the third quarter. Puts up another 3, won't go down. As Ali Parvaz told us that Nathan loves to and is very confident in his 3.
Yeah, he has no conscience.
Under 2 minutes in the third quarter, a 1-point ball game, and Nathan makes the steal. Flips it over to Elvin Smith, and one! 42-43, and the bench is helping out here in Chino Hills.
What can you say about the effort there? Nathan diving on the floor for loose balls. This is the postseason game. Tomorrow is not promised. You got to go out there and give it all you got. Nathan diving for that loose ball, and then from his bottom, finding the teammate for the layup. Elvin Smith, nice job absorbing the contact there and getting the bucket plus the foul. Leuzinger up by 1, trying to make it more.
Elvin Smith rolls it around, won't go down. But he has a big 2 with a 1-point lead for the Olympians, and a foul on Howard Robinson Jr. trying to strip it from Hecox.
Childress' rest didn't last long. He's right back in there.
He's
1:45 left.
a sophomore, come on.
1:45 left in the third. Marshawn McMahon, however, still on the bench.
Third personal for Robinson Jr., second team foul with 1:40 left to go in the third quarter. A 1-point Leuzinger lead. After trailing by 9 at the half, ball is stolen away from Navarre by Johns. Childress from the foul line. Short. Rebound is off. Childress gets his own rebound. A dozen turnovers, and now a timeout, 30-second called by Coach Ali Parvaz of the Olympians with 1:22 left in the third quarter.
Two things. I like that shot there by Childress. So many guards, young guards in particular, the loss of the mid-range jump shot is gone. He didn't make that shot, but he took that shot. The offense gave it to him, didn't pull up for three, didn't try to do too much and get it all the way to the basket. He took right there exactly what the defense gave him. As he grows and matures, he's going to be able to knock down that shot. That's going to make him even more deadly of a basketball player. But secondly, he followed his shot. He missed the shot, but he followed it, and those are the things that Leuzinger wasn't doing in the first half. They weren't boxing out. They weren't being aggressive again to the basketball, and you see a no box out there by the Huskies gives Leuzinger a second opportunity here.
As the Olympians had a 9-point hill to climb to get back into this, and it started off with a huge run, an 11-0 run to end the first half. So do they have enough gas in the tank to finish this off?
Yeah, that's going to be the question. I think that's part of the reason why Coach Parvaz took that timeout right there.
Three-pointer by Robinson Jr. won't go down. Odache with the rebound, gets it off and scooped up by Herrera. Won't go down. The rebound is off of Leuzinger. And Ed Leon says it's Husky ball.
Unfortunate right there. Johns had that rebound, but somehow lost it.
1:05 left to go in the third quarter. It's been a while now for a bucket to go down, and a timeout called quickly by Warren Odache, the smart 6-foot senior guard, averaging almost 13 points a game, and he has 12 right now. 3 3-pointers in the first quarter and 1 here, a big one in the third.
Remember in the first half on the baseline out of bounds, Leuzinger forced a 5-second call because the Huskies didn't call a timeout. How upset Coach Baker was. Well, they get the timeout there, but that's great defense there by Leuzinger. You don't win at this level, at this point of the year, without being able to play defense. And you talked about the Leuzinger teams from previous, the last couple years. That was their staple, defense. Defensively, they got after it with high intensity, high effort, and that's something this young team is learning right now. You got to do it on both sides of the basketball court. I was watching the game yesterday, and Renardo Sidney, a local guy who's now out at Mississippi State, and they were just blasting him. They were picking him apart because high energy on the offensive end. But on the defensive end, low energy. Biggest guy on the court, guys are taking it right at his chest, laying it up and in right over him, not giving any help side defense. But as you grow and mature, you learn that defense is just as important, if not more, than getting it done on the offensive side of the ball.
This team has been through a lot this year. They lost their coach, got a new coach. Didn't want to play for him. Finally, they had a Sunday come to Jesus beating. Then they started to play, and now we see this tonight. Did the light bulb come on at halftime?
We think it kind of started to sparkle a little bit there in that first half as Hecox knocks down another triple.
And takes the lead back for the Huskies. He has 19 points, and the rebound goes off to the Huskies on the missed shot by the Olympians.
Yeah, John's got his long arm in there and tried to deflect it, but deflected it right out of bounds.
Full court pressure by the Olympians. 45 seconds left, and a 46-44 lead for Chino Hills. What a game we have in the first round of the Division I AA playoffs as Hecox goes for another one. Rebound is off to Sorensen, puts it up and in. So Michael Sorensen with his first bucket since the first quarter, 27 seconds left in the third, and a 48-44 lead for Chino Hills.
And they're going to milk this clock right here, try to get the last shot of the quarter. You know the high screen is coming here.
Childress hasn't seen it yet. Now here comes Howard Robinson Jr. Childress goes the other way, looking for an open lane, gets the pass underneath, a hand got in there, shot taken by Smith, tipped up by Childress, but he couldn't get it to go at the buzzer. What a quarter for the Olympians. And the score going into the fourth is 48-44. Let's take a timeout. Fourth quarter just about ready to get underway on Channel 22. Glad you joined us. What a quarter for the Olympians, outscoring the Huskies 23-10 to get back in this game. Richmond, though, puts it up and in as he bowls his way in. 50-44 for Richmond. That's 7 points.
And you see a lot of teams run out of bounds sets just to get the ball in bounds. Well, this is a team that runs out of bounds plays to actually score, and you see they score once again off of a out of bounds possession. Not a good possession to start this quarter for Leuzinger.
Eric Childress skipped it across and nobody was home. Looks like Howard Robinson Jr. left his post. And let's keep an eye on Marshawn McMahon with 3 personal fouls and was really hit hard by the flu bug earlier.
He's back in the game right now.
So it's McMahon, Johns, Anderson, Childress, and Robinson Jr., the starting 5 for the Olympians. Curry with the ball for Chino Hills. So Dache with the shot that won't go down. And Hecox with it, hands it off, bounce pass, nicely done. Wrong-sided layup for Warren Odache, has 14 points. Childress puts up an off-balance shot to stay in the game at 52-46.
And we've seen him make that shot time and time again this year. He just got to a spot right in that short corner, a little double pump floater.
Hecox wide open again, but missed it. Richmond with the rebound underneath to Hecox. Had the ball swiped away by Childress. Big strength move by Eric. Anderson gets it over to Robinson, and that's a player control foul. And look out below as Cameron Curry probably got hit by Anderson where they don't have a get well card for.
Yeah, I was looking at Childress that particular time down. He was kind of grabbing his knees. He's obviously battling fatigue. A lot of these Olympians battling fatigue. Guess what? Everybody's out there tired right now.
That's right.
If you're a coach, you got to remind that. You can't. A former coach once told me fatigue makes cowards of us all. And everyone's tired out there right now. In these last 6 minutes, 39 seconds, you got to be able to go out there and give it all that you have.
Well, that's a tough coach.
He was tough. He was tough.
6:39 left to go in the ball game. 52-46. Chino Hills leads this one as they get off to a fast start. And Leuzinger, like I said, had a huge hill to climb. Had a big run in the second quarter, an 11-0 run to close that quarter out. Then outscored the Huskies 23-10 in the third quarter. Had a big 10-0 run to start off that quarter. So in all, they pretty much had a 21-0 run. Wide open 3 again by Hecox. He's not going to miss.
That's huge. That makes this a 9-point game with just over 6 minutes left to play here.
And 22 points now, leading all scorers, is A.J. Hecox. Eric Childress has 21 points for the Olympians. Trying to look for an open way to get to the basket. Shot puts a shot up there, and Richmond comes down with it. That's where the size is going to come in handy. Odache spots the 3, gets the good bounce. 17 points. 58-46 in favor of the Huskies, and timeout called by Ali Parvaz of the Olympians.
He's been making big shots for them all night. Hecox got right down here in this corner. Another one of those things where you got to be able to locate shooters, and both Hecox and Warren Ondaatje have been able to knock down those big shots from downtown so far here tonight.
And Warren Ondaatje has 17 points, all but one a three-pointer.
Yeah.
And A.J. Hecox has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 three-pointers, 4 of them all here in the second half.
Yeah. And they mostly have come off of that 1-4 set. Hecox has got one in transition here, but they mostly come in that 1-4 set. They go to the high post And then Ondaatje, who's been handling the ball at the top here a lot recently, he'll go the high post, and then he'll just come off a flare screen set by the opposite big man who's at the opposite high post and just get lost in the shuffle and ends up with a wide open three-point shot. So, and another thing is they're doubling down on Richmond as well. And with that, you're going to give up some wide open looks outside. And they've definitely been able to capitalize on those here in this fourth quarter, and especially back in that first quarter, if you remember, partner.
Well, the only way they're going to stop A.J. Hecox is if somebody uses a net.
I don't know if I didn't bring one. I don't have one in the trunk.
Childress with the and one try. A beautiful drive and a bucket. And he'll go to the line for the and one, and that's Mike Sorensen's fourth personal foul. But Eric Childress trying to bail out the Olympians again with 23 points. Trying to get 24.
I tell you who hasn't stopped playing. I mean, this kid is tough. He's rock solid. He's been that way all night.
Started traveling with the varsity last year. Now he's got the uniform and the letter. Now it's a single-digit lead as Richmond had his shot blocked by Howard Robinson Jr. Check that to Travion Anderson.
He's missed a lot of easy ones tonight.
Childress trying to do it again, and just off the mark. Rebound off to Richmond. Here comes Hecox. Bounces it under to Richmond for the finish, and one. Beautiful pass to pay back his buddy.
Yeah, nice pass and a nice finish down low. He's been active all night. Sorensen's been all around the basket all night tonight, and you see him beneficiary of a nice pass and a layup +1. Makes it an 11-point game once again.
Fourth personal foul and the first personal, for 14th foul, I should say. First personal on Kyrie Johns. 61-49. Chino Hills leads 10 points for John Richmond. Eric Childress with the ball against Ondaatje. Richmond comes out to meet him, so he gives it to Robinson Jr. Elvin Smith with it. And a whistle down low. Fifth team foul. And they give that on Sorensen. It's his fourth, and now a three-point shot off the inbound pass by Childress. Smith there for the rebound. Childress gets it again. Robinson looking at the 2-3 zone. Drives in. Anderson has it, fumbled it, tries to get it, and Richmond swats it out. Like a yellow jacket going for the ice cream.
And Anderson tried to use the rim there as an ally, but the long outstretched arms of Richmond were just too much there that time.
21 seconds left on the shot clock, 4:33 on the game clock. Anderson, nice use of the glass.
Nice. He said, all right, big fella, I was in your territory. Now you come out here and try to guard me in mine. Took him right to the basket.
That's the first bucket for Anderson, and it couldn't have come at a more convenient time. Down by 10, 4:15 left to go in the ball game. Navarre is going to come in next whistle for Chino Hills. Richmond with it. Trying to use the glass himself, and Robinson Jr. with the rebound. Good defense by Anderson.
Yeah, he's like he didn't get called for an offensive foul there, Richmond. He stuck his shoulder, dipped his shoulder down twice.
Elbows, shoulders, you name it. He was using it.
He's frustrated. He's had a tough night. Missed a lot of gimmies tonight.
Curry gets it off to Ondaatje. Ondaatje down low to his brother. Almost threw it away, but Hecox is fast enough to go back and get it with 3:40 left in the game, and one.
That's just great basketball smarts right there. Hecox with a nice take, but I'm talking about Richmond because he was down there on the block. He saw his buddy drive into the basket, so he just flashed up to the high post and took his defender with him, and it was a wide open layup there.
15 foul, first personal on Elvin Smith. Hecox for the old-fashioned three, can't get it to go down, but the rebound goes to Childress. 2-on-2 break. Childress flips it over to McMahon, and a foul on the play. Somebody got their leg out going by on Eric. So we'll see whose leg it was.
We're going to have to get this young man some water and a massage and everything else once this game is over with.
Gatorade and a big, big bucket of ice. Curry with his second personal. 16 foul, and jump ball, and the possession arrow facing towards the Olympians. So they catch a break there. 29 seconds left on their shot clock, 3:26 on the game clock, down by a dozen. After leading by 4 at one point, Anderson will get 2 shots.
Nice take. Nice take. We saw that a couple possessions ago. Similar situation on a baseline out of bounds play. Anderson caught it right here in this near corner and just dove all the way to the basket, or drove, I should say, rather, all the way to the basket. And this time it was Sorensen, the foul victim.
Navarre with his 3rd personal. Anderson makes the free throw. He has 3 points and cuts the lead to 11 for Chino Hills. In and out. Navarre with the rebound, but now the Huskies have put the Olympians in the bonus. Long pass, tipped and stolen by Robinson Jr. Good defense all half long by the Olympians. But can they come back again with 3:05 left to go in the game? Childress says, how about that, Lou?
Nice. And a plethora of moves. We've seen the crossover. That time he went with the inside-out dribble, got all the way to the basket.
Gets it down to 9. Another steal by Robinson Jr. Here comes Howard. Stops and pops. Gets it in. 7 for Howard. Now it's 63-56.
Number 33 is uncovered. Navarre, he's the one that takes the inbound pass. This full court pressure is giving the Huskies trouble here and there tonight.
Sorensen will be in next whistle along with Richmond for the final push with 2:25 left to go. Hecox bounces it back to Navarre. No one's going to touch him. That stops a big 7-0 run by the Olympians.
Kind of a Princeton look there, Princeton offense.
Long shot won't go down. Navarre with the rebound. He's coming up big here in the 4th quarter for his team. 65-56, coming down to 2 minutes right now left in the game. Navarre with it. Wide open wing for Curry. He can't get it to go down. Navarre's there, had his shot partially blocked. Childress with the rebound, 1:50 left to go in the ball game. Leuzinger with a huge hill to climb, down by 9. Nice pass off, but Anderson fumbles it out of bounds.
We talked about it earlier, Lou. We talked about Childress and his vision. If you're in a blue jersey, you got to be ready for it when that ball comes your way, because it's coming. And there that time, Anderson just wasn't ready for it.
Michael Navarre gets a high five from Steve Bake, his head coach, as he takes a seat. Replaced by John Richmond for the end of the ball game. Curry over to Hecox for the dagger. That won't go down. Rebound being fought for. Tie up. Jump ball will go to Chino Hills with 1:29 left to go in the ball game. 65-56. Howard Robinson Jr. doing a good job to get his hands in there. While we got a timeout, why don't we take a quick timeout ourselves on Channel 22? I'm stuck with Rashawn Haylock no matter what, along with Sergio Munoz. I'm Lou Stowers. Final minute and 29 seconds in this one. Leuzinger came back to take the lead in the 3rd and 4th quarter, but can they do it again? They trail 65-56. Long inbound pass into Hecox. Gets around Robinson Jr., who gets called for the reach around.
And the Olympians still have one more foul to give here. The last minute, 26 seconds. Pretty soon they're going to be looking to foul every time down. But as of right now, pressure, pressure, pressure. But you're going to put yourself in a lot of scramble opportunities, which have hurt you so far tonight.
In the ball game for the first time, Roderick West, and he commits a foul.
Yeah, I think Rod was in the game to do just that.
7th team foul. That'll get the ball back for the Olympians, but look who you're fouling.
Yeah. Hecox. Already missed it.
Missed it, but the rebound is taken by Richmond with 1:20 left to go, so that backfires. Curry with it, now to Richmond. Back to Odache, as Chino Hills is just eating time right now. Foul. Probably going to be on Nathan. Stephen Nathan with a big three-pointer in the third quarter. His second personal, 8th team foul. And going to the line will be Cameron Curry, who has 2 back in the first quarter from the free throw line. 1:09 left.
You got to box out. That hurt you the last time down. You got to box out if you're Leuzinger.
So this is the 1-and-1. He'll get another.
Another sophomore point guard, these 2 sophomores. And I mean, we haven't talked much about Curry tonight, but I mean, especially for a sophomore in this setting, I don't think he's done half bad. Coach Bake talked about him kind of maturing as the season has gone along.
And doing it in the tough Sierra League, Robinson Jr. with the rebound. Coming down to 1 minute left to go in the ball game. Robinson Jr. didn't get the kiss off the glass, goes out of bounds. It'll be Leuzinger ball with 58 seconds left. But got to hand it to Leuzinger, even though they do have some returning kids on this team from last year's championship team. The heart and soul moved on to Saturdays, Thursdays and Saturdays. And a three-point shot by Nathan rolls in. Well, they're not gone yet.
Yeah, he's still ticking. That's the kid. He's going to get his FGAs. Nathan is.
66-59. And another foul on Nathan. That'll be his third personal. 9th team foul. So maybe this is the guy who put up at the line. We'll find out if the big John Richmond can make a foul shot.
But even if he's shooting, you still got to box him out.
He's 1 for 2. Makes the first one. Okay, so he's got a rim on the garage.
If you're Nathan, you got to get in there and get into the big fella after the shot goes up.
Missed. Nathan with it. 45 seconds left in the ball game. Gets it to Childress. 2 sophomores. Boy, what a bright future for this team. But Childress with an uncharacteristic turnover to Odache. And Richmond gets the ball, and he is fouled immediately by Eric Childress. Just his second personal, and now double bonus time for the Huskies. So again, what a season for these young players, for the whole school, for that matter.
Yeah, a lot of turmoil. It's so tough, and Coach Parvaz has handled this whole thing with character. I mean, he's been a class act. He's been a class act from the moment he stepped foot on this Leuzinger campus, and we've talked about it throughout the season. Not an enviable position for him to be in. You know, coming in for a coach who was so beloved, taking over a program that had made consecutive trips to the Honda Center in Southern sectional finals, and not really an enviable position. A lot of your top players leaving, but he's come in here and he's handled it. Second place in the Bay League. I mean, even last year's team would have had their issues with this year's Peninsula team. So he's handled it. I mean, a sophomore point guard, and not guys with very much experience from last year's team, as Robinson Jr. knocks down the 3 here. But I mean, these kids have played well, and they earned a playoff spot, which isn't the easiest thing to do. And just unfortunate here tonight. You got to play 4 quarters of basketball at this level during this time of the season, and tonight they played a good 3, or maybe 2.5. But that first quarter and a half, not so much. Yeah,
that did them in, because they maintained things in the second quarter. It was a 22-10 first quarter, followed by a 15-12 Leuzinger second quarter, then a big 23-10 third quarter by Leuzinger. But they just couldn't keep the momentum leading coming into the fourth quarter by 4 points.
And you see it I mean, even if you watch NBA basketball, you see it every night. You fight so hard just to get back in the game, and then once you do, it's kind of like you take a little bit of a breath. You got there, but then you know you got to continue that play up for the rest of the game, and that's tough to do.
69-62, and Richmond's going to go to the line to get a couple more freebies. Is it Nathan or Childress? Nathan with the foul. His 4th. 21 seconds left to go.
So he'll be shooting 2.
In the double bonus.
Hats off to Coach Bake and this Chino Hills team, though. I mean, they played well, and when they were clicking, boy, I mean, they were a sight to see offensively. The way they executed and were able to run their stuff tonight, especially in the early going.
14 points for Richmond, 71-62. Chino Hills with the lead. McMahon shot off the mark. Richmond with the rebound. 10 seconds left to go in this one. Hecox is just going to run around and count it down. You can endorse the back of this scorecard and put it in the bank for Chino Hills as they advance to play the winner of Etiwanda Long Beach Wilson, defeating the Leuzinger Olympians 71-62.
Tough way to end the season here for Leuzinger, but especially for these young guys. You know, Nathan, who'll be returning next year, Stephon Nathan, we saw the young man. He's unconscious. I mean, he'll get his FGAs. He didn't see a shot that he didn't like. And, of course, Eric Childress, what can we say about him? I mean, these are guys that will be coming back and great guys, especially Childress, to kind of build your program around. If you're Coach Provaz, you just think you got 2 more years with this young man to grow with him and develop with him as you try to build this program back up. And so the future looks bright.
Sure does, but we also say goodbye to Marshawn McMahon and Howard Robinson Jr. and Travion Anderson. Also Elvin Smith, Lionel Drain, and Rodney Mills as well. Shamir Williams, also a senior on this team, playing the last game of the Leuzinger Olympians' career. And as they do come back, had a lot of heart just to get back in this ball game, but fall by 9 points, 71-62 to Chino Hills.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they could have easily folded in that first quarter when things looked bleak. I mean, it looked bleak up here to us. I mean, you can only imagine what it looked like down there to them on that court and on that sideline, but they fought. They were resilient. They kind of just went back to the basics, and you know, they started playing defense. They ratcheted up the intensity defensively, and I think that is kind of what got them in the ball game. And then, of course, Childress, I mean, he just refused to let them die in this one here tonight. I mean, he gave it all he had. I mean, the guy was everywhere. He was getting deflections. He was getting baskets. I mean, he single-handedly tried to keep them in this game here tonight, and he did for the most part.
Let's go over the scoring. A.J. Hecox for the Huskies. He was definitely their player of the game, had 24 points. Warren Odachi had 17 points. That's 5 over his average. His little brother, Wes Odachi, had 2. 6 points for Mike Sorensen. And 3 points for Cameron Curry. What a future he has on this club. And going down the list, Michael Navarre had 4 points. And what a big bucket that was for Navarre. Did a lot of good things for Chino Hills while John Richmond was on the bench. And Richmond ended up with 14 points. And most of them had 9 of them in the fourth quarter, most of them from the foul line. For the Leuzinger Olympians, who end their season at 17-10, by the way, Chino Hills is now 22-6 as they move on in the 1AA. And for Eric Childress, he led all scorers with 25 points. Very consistent all the way. Alvin Smith had 2 points. And Eric Sims also had 2. He's going to be an improved player coming around next year. And Stephon Nathan had 2 3-pointers, good for 6 points, and had some good defense. Rodney Mills in his final game in an Olympian uniform, 2 points. And 9 points for Marshawn McMahon, who just didn't look like his old self out there. 2 points for Kyrie Johns, who will be back next year. And Howard Robinson Jr. finishes up his Leuzinger career with 10 points, 2 3-pointers. And Travion Anderson finishes up his career at Leuzinger with 3 points for a total of 62. So there you have it. Let's go over in our mind's eye and see who our player of the game is. Eric Childress pretty much stood out all the way for Leuzinger from start to finish.
Yeah, add 7 rebounds to that point total. I mean, he was everywhere. He did it all. I mean, he led this team in rebounds tonight. Hecox and Richmond had 8 boards apiece to pace the Huskies. But I can't say enough about this young man, Eric Childress. Every time I see him, he just impresses me more and more. And I haven't been more impressed with him this season than I was tonight. I mean, he's just, and it's very interesting. You see it in the NBA all the time. When a play works, the coaches just continue to run it. And for a stretch,
you got to stop it.
Yeah, and for a stretch, we saw Coach Parvaz do that tonight. Run that high screen. Just give the ball to number one. Let's run that high screen and see if they can stop it. And they had a tough time stopping him, as particularly in that second and third quarter tonight.
Well, it was a game of runs, and Chino Hills had the final one, that's for sure, in the fourth quarter. As they move on, advance into CIF Southern Section Division I AA, and they snapped the string from Leuzinger's trips to the Honda Center, defeating them 71-62. They'll play the winner of Etiwanda and Long Beach Wilson in Friday night's round 2. All right, so Eric Childress is our Channel 22 Sports Player of the Game with 26 points and 7 rebounds, was it?
7 rebounds.
All right. So congratulations to Eric, and we will definitely see him next year. Leading the way also coming into tonight's game with 4.6 assists and 3.2 steals. So he's just a complete ball player coming in from, I remember watching him, was telling you at the halftime, watching him at Kevin Pearl's Ballers tournament in the summertime, in the middle of the summertime on that hot blacktop. But he was definitely the men amongst boys there. So once he starts his other growth spurt, he'll be a monster come next season.
Yeah, he's a guy that people are going to start having to pay a little bit more attention to, and have to start noticing a little bit. I mean, we all know what he can do, you know, coming off the high pick and roll, coming off the on-ball screens up top. Now I think the challenge for him to take that next step and to becoming a better player is working on that jump shot, working on his outside shot, because teams may start to play more zone against Leuzinger, knowing what he can do coming off the high on-ball screen. And of course, that mid-range number that we talked about a little bit throughout the course of the game, but he's well on his way.
That's right. Well, the good news for the Olympians is the Huskies allow 52.5 points a game. They had 62. Well, this should wrap it up here from Avalanche Gymnasium. Any final thoughts?
Hats off once again. I repeat, hats off to Coach Parvaz. I mean,
absolutely,
definitely not an enviable position to be put in. He kind of put himself in it. He wanted this opportunity. He embraced this opportunity, and he's been a primo, class act from the very first moment he stepped foot on the Leuzinger campus. And hats off to Eric Childress. Just impressed by that young man's play tonight.
All right, so we look for the C on his jersey next year, that's for sure. Well, for Rashawn Haylock and Sergio Munoz, I'm Lou Stowers inside Avalanche Gym on the campus of Chino Hills High School in Chino Hills. I want to tell you the final score once again. The Chino Hills Huskies 71, the Leuzinger Olympians 62. Until next season on the hardwood, so long.